Penguin Random House Audio presents The Wolf by Lorenzo Carcaterra. Read for you by Keith Szarabajka. Prologue. Florence, Italy. Summer 2012. It was not yet noon, but already humid on this mid-August Sunday. Stalls and carts lined the Piazza Santa Croce as the statue of Dante glared down at hundreds of tourists and locals. Visitors wearing cameras like jewels around their necks ordered quarter kilos of prosciutto, salami, and fresh mozzarella, each slice laid evenly across the open face of bread just removed from small portable ovens. Others asked for pizzettas covered with toppings and wrapped in wax paper. The locals lingered, scanning the goods, preparing to buy enough to get through the early part of the week. Many had been to Mass and now anticipated the family meal. Street clowns and mimes provided levity to the congested and boisterous setting. The young man was in his early 20s, clean-shaven and dressed in casual Florentine attire, a tan jacket, cream-colored slacks, and white button-down shirt. One hand hid inside the left pocket of his jacket, while the other held a chocolate gelato cone, the mound of cream melting in the heat. The man ate in the manner that he walked, slow and leisurely, and he wiped at thin veins of melting chocolate with a folded napkin. He studied the people around him and smiled. If many in the crowd were to die within the next several minutes, they had chosen a glorious day in a splendid setting. The man's name was Ali Ben Bashir. He was the youngest son of an Iranian father and an Italian mother. His parents met when both were medical students at the university in Siena, then separated when Ali was 6. After, his life was divided between two families, two cultures. Summers in Italy with his mother, the rest of the year with Iranian relatives, none of whom had kind words for any Western nation, especially a Catholic one. He was encouraged to absorb the lessons of Islam and not fall prey to the easy temptations of a city like Florence, as his father's family mocked any mention the boy made of the Renaissance or his excursions to museums and churches designed and built centuries earlier. Ali became a confused and angry young man, uncertain if the long looks he was given and questions he was asked each time he passed through Italian customs were routine or designed for him alone. His Italian relatives would poke fun at his concerns, dismissing them as paranoia planted by the ramblings of radicals. "They single you out because you're from a place where today's terrorist comes from," his Uncle Aldo told him over coffee one afternoon. "When I was your age, they asked those same questions of us, northern Italians, because of the Red Brigade, and before that of the Germans because of their terrorist problems. It doesn't mean you're special, and it doesn't mean they hate you. It just means your time is now, until the next group of madmen come along." Ali would listen, smile, nod as if in agreement, but remain unconvinced. He had caught too many looks of disdain, not only on the streets of Italy, but when he traveled to other cities as well. A student trip to New York, a vacation in Paris, a biking trip into northern Spain with friends. The same signal was delivered, the same message implied. He was not to be trusted and would never be welcomed. He was an outsider. To the fundamentalists among his father's friends, Ali was a candidate ripe for radicalization. Over 3 years they would visit Ali in small groups. During these meetings, hidden under the guise of dutiful prayer and worship, they would talk about all the ills Western society had placed upon Muslims. Ali grew agitated when told of the atrocities committed against women during the American invasions of Afghanistan and Iraq, and of how their most religious book was held up to ridicule, and in some cases burned, often by people who had never bothered to read even one word. The journey of Ali from child of divorce to young student to proud Muslim willing to die for a cause culminated with the death of his father in the spring of 2010. Ali had spent 3 weeks by his father's bedside, leaving only to attend prayer services. He fed his father what little food he would eat and read to him in the back room of the small apartment. During that time, the two shared many moments and spoke as often as sickness allowed. Ali not only loved the man who had taught him how to read, lace his shoes, and say his prayers, he respected him. He knew his father in ways few sons took the time to know their own. But in that 3-week period, when he watched the body of the man he most loved in this world surrender to the pain of a disease that could not be conquered, he came to understand why his father hated Western society and all it represented. "I am sorry to see you this way," Ali said to his father during one of their final moments. "I hate to see you in such pain." "The price one pays for living a long life," his father said. Ali smiled and wiped his father's sweaty forehead with a damp cloth. "So, no regrets?" he asked. "Just one," his father said. "Does it have something to do with Mother?" Ali asked. His father shook his head. "No," he said. "If I had not made your mother my wife, I would not have had you as my son. For me, our marriage remains a blessing." "Then what is your regret?" Ali said. His father stared at him, laying still, barely catching breath, in the warm confines of a room filled with only a bed, a prayer mat, a nightstand, a bureau. "I wish I had the courage to do what so many others braver than I have done," he finally said. "What is that?" "To give up my life," his father said. "To surrender flesh in the name of Allah." 14 months after his father's death, Ali Ben Bashir stood facing a crowded piazza in one of the most beautiful and serene places in the world, across from a church where many of the giants of the Renaissance were buried. He unbuttoned the front of his starched white shirt, revealing an intricate series of wires, timers, and small explosives taped across his chest. He spread his arms out, a small black box with a red button in the center clutched in his right hand. "I do this for you, dear father," Ali said. "I do this in your name." Then, head lifted to a cloudless sky, Ali Ben Bashir pressed his thumb on the red button. Part 1. There is no crime of which I cannot conceive myself guilty. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Chapter 1. Los Angeles, California. Spring 2013. It should have been me. Not Lisa. And not my girls, that's for damn sure. And not anyone else. Not when you take a hard look at it. It was me they targeted. Me they wanted. It's me they've always wanted. But they couldn't touch me. So they reached for the ones they could get. And I let them walk right into it. I wanted Lisa and the girls to fly in a private jet with bodyguards sitting in front and back and another team waiting on the ground. That was the way it was meant to happen. That's the way it would have happened if I had held firm. But I let myself be talked out of it. Lisa didn't want her 3 kids raised in a bubble. She wanted them to grow up as normal kids, leading normal lives. Or as normal as they could be when you consider who I am and what I do. She had always wanted that, a normal life. We both knew going in that normal was never going to be easy, not with me around. You want safe and secure, move to a small town and marry the local grocer. But when you fall in love with a guy like me, the unthinkable comes with the vows. I am a cautious man. I don't trust strangers. I'm uneasy in large gatherings, from weddings to concerts to dinner parties of more than 10, and travel with a discreet security detail close enough to take action if the need arises. I have a carry permit and never venture out minus at least one loaded weapon. I don't adhere to a regular schedule. Instead, I vary everything, from workouts to the times I eat my meals, to the routes I take to work sites and meetings.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?